Coming up on SportsWire. Football, football, football. It's back as we visit several Henrico teams.
1, 2, 3. There you go. Let's go. Fly around.
Plus,
I'd like to announce that I'm committed to VCU.
a Varina basketball star picks Ram Nation. Find out why.
And we're just blown away. It was so amazing.
I'm so happy that I get to share this money.
And this former Glen Allen softball phenom gives back to an organization that got her started. All that and more as SportsWire starts right now. The fall sports season is back in full force, and that means so are we. We're even back in our lavish studio, so welcome to SportsWire. I'm Will Catterley. Of course, that means full slates of field hockey, volleyball, cross country, and of course, football. And when it comes to the gridiron, you can't talk football without starting with Highland Springs. Last season, the Springers came one play away from winning the state championship. And only months later, Highland Springs returns after graduating a bundle of senior stars. But the Springers are never really in rebuilding mode. They just reload. And there's plenty to like with this team and the players who are back, and of course, their new digs. The Highland Springs Springers get ready to embark on the 2021-2022 campaign. The Springers will play their first official home game in nearly 2 years.
We're excited about the opportunity, just patiently anticipating the opportunity to play football at Highland Springs and not have to get on the bus to play a home football game. So the walking out, the pageantry, the use of the facility, I mean, I'm all excited about those things. And like I said, just waiting and anticipating for it to come sooner rather than later.
The Black and Gold had plenty of high-impact graduating seniors last season, but they still have big-time talent returning on both sides of the ball.
One guy that's coming back that we like a whole lot is Quanye Vinny. He's a guy that's been around. He made some plays for us last year, done a really good job. He's on the offense side of the ball, and you got Rashard Purnell on the defense side of the ball. So we're excited about those two guys, Darius Taylor at the linebacker position. In the secondary, a guy that's been around, but a lot of people hadn't screamed his name a whole lot, is Daquan Giles. He's a guy that we're counting on in the secondary as well. And then running back, Marcel Fleming. He's a guy that we like a whole lot and did a whole lot for us. You know, all of the guys at the receiver position, Latrell Sutton, you know, he's going to play on both sides of the ball to help us out a bunch. So I'm excited about all of those guys being a part of what's going on.
And the Springers have a very exciting schedule, starting with Julius Chambers, defending state champions from North Carolina, Martinsburg, West Virginia, Colonial Forge, and Manchester, just to name a few.
We want to play the best, right, that we possibly can to put ourselves in position to be the best team in the state of Virginia. So every once in a while you go across state lines, pick up a game with some phenomenal talent, and it puts you in position to be successful later on in the season.
Meanwhile, the Springers have 3 players battling out for the starting quarterback position. And regardless at Highland Springs, the standard remains the same.
We've set the standard kind of high for ourselves and for everybody else, and we just want to put ourselves in position to, play as many games as we possibly can and play as long as we possibly can and be the winner of the last game every year.
That goal begins August 28th.
So we know that takes a lot of work. It's not something that's going to be handed to us. It's not something that's going to be just given. We got a great schedule to kind of set us in place and position us to be pretty good later on, and we just got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Highland Springs opens their new stadium against the defending state champions from North Carolina, J.C. Chambers. Meanwhile, the other team that made the playoffs last season was the Hermitage Panthers. After head coach Dave Bedwell retired, Timothy Jean-Pierre takes the reins for a team that went undefeated in the regular season just months ago.
Some good stuff still that we can get out of those 30 plays, all right? We got great stuff that we can get out of those 30 plays.
Timothy Jean-Pierre takes over as head coach for the Hermitage Panthers after the retirement of David Bedwell.
The Pierre way is the winning way. I just want to win. There's a lot of ways to win, and when you buy into the team concept, you take advantage of every opportunity to win, which creates a greater potential for you to win as a whole. So at the end of the day, I'm not a pass guy or run guy. I'm going to do what we can do to win guy.
The Panthers are coming off a perfect regular season. And while some key seniors have graduated from that squad, Jean-Pierre believes this team has more depth, talent, and speed.
We don't really try to duplicate a season or nothing that happened in the past because we don't have all of those same players. We actually have a little bit more talent than we had last year. I'm nothing against last year's team, but we're a little deeper. We're a little faster. You know, we're going to keep things simple so the guys can stay fast and stay confident in what we're doing.
And that includes a defense that will fly to the football.
You know, we didn't have Nate James today, but he's going to be an interior guy that's going to really be a force in the trenches for us. Andrew Lee is another guy in the interior that's going to be a force for us. On the back end, we got Jaquel Parker. He's going to be basically calling a lot of our defensive fronts at linebacker. And Jeremiah Coney as well. We're going to be expecting him to step up a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. Corey Morton, who was an all-region free safety for us, is stepping up for us at the weak safety position.
Meanwhile, offensively, the coaches will be happy to have a dual-threat quarterback.
Jalen Burton, a.k.a. Toast, we call him Toast. The little guy, but he's a blazer on the field, also a dynamic passer. So he'll be able to give us some options.
Hermitage's season starts September 3rd against Henrico.
Herm on me, family on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Family!
Hermitage isn't the only team with a new head coach. Godwin has a new one as well, and P.J. Adams, who helped lead Thomas Jefferson to the postseason. Despite not much success last season, the Eagles are senior-laden and may have the talent to fly high this fall. Godwin gets ready for a scrimmage against Henrico as new head coach P.J. Adams takes the reins, former Thomas Jefferson head coach.
It's kind of like at my last stop, you know, when the kids haven't had success, they're kind of willing to do anything to try to be that team that turns it back around. This program hasn't made it to the playoffs since 2017, and they kind of want to get that taste back in their mouth and get back to winning football at Godwin High School.
The good news is plenty of seniors returned for this squad, and the numbers are looking up.
Well, we have 21 seniors this year. 19 of them are returners from last year. So we're going to build a lot on what the seniors did. They didn't have the best junior year, so they've been very positive about this year. When I look at our numbers in comparison to probably most of the Henrico schools, with the exception of one, I think we had comparable numbers to everybody else, and I've been very happy about that this year.
The Eagles return starting quarterback Marcus Orpiano and two very dynamic wide receivers.
We had two wide receivers, Justin Harris and Cohen Busby. I think they're going to be very good players this year. I think they're going to open up the passing game for us a lot. I think they'll be very instrumental in what we try to do in the offensive game and get the running game started. Once we get the running game started, I think it's really going to open it up for them.
Coach Adams also sees improvement along the offensive line.
I really like the offensive line play. I felt like they played a lot better than they did last year. It was a real positive. I think they're going to be a very bright spot on our team this year. The biggest thing, we have to be more physical. With the spread offense and the way things have been changing, when a lot of times when people see power, they're not ready for it. So we have to be more comfortable to play against power football. We have to become a lot more physical and get a lot more tenacity this year.
Bottom line, the Eagles have the ingredients to be much more successful this fall.
My mantra is just to, in the off-season, get as much work with as many people as we can to get better, try to break down kind of these barriers that they had to losing, and not to be scared of the competition. We want to become a faster physical football team, and that's the biggest thing we're trying to instill in these players this year. A big goal for us is playoff football, though. That's what we want to reach for. That's what we aspire to. You come out here in the summer and you work out 4 days a week, then you come out here and practice football 5-6 days a week. You kind of want to look at the end goal, so playoffs is a goal for us.
We have more football previews to get to from around the county when we come back, including a look at Varina and Henrico, but we already have regular season highlights on the other side in field hockey. Henrico and Hermitage hammer it out in their season opener. That's straight ahead.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that brand? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
Welcome back to Sports Wire. Well, it's not just football previews. We've got real live action. Field hockey, Henrico versus Hermitage. Henrico last season only had 4 players try out due to the whole COVID crisis we've been going through. This year they're back, however. First quarter highlights. Field hockey's now 4 quarters, not 2 halves. It was the Henrico Warriors come out and play, putting on the pressure, and it would pay dividends right here. She scores! Goal! The first goal of the Sports Wire field hockey season goes to Henrico's Lola Viramgari. Moments later, after a steal, she scores, and you haven't heard the last of Rhea Gard putting the biscuit in the basket, and the Warriors, just like that, jump out to a 2-0 lead. That would be the score after the first quarter. Second quarter, Hermitage dominated this one, had several chances. This was one of their best. Firing right at the net, almost goes in, and it's cleared away eventually by a defender, and that shot goes a little bit wide. Still, Hermitage applying the pressure. They were in Henrico's zone the entire second quarter. Another chance for the Panthers. She shoots. Just goes wide once again. More Hermitage, however. This one's got a chance for the keeper who had a very good game. And Rashika Roy, the senior, oh captain, my captain, knocks that one away. More from Hermitage. Best chance of the evening. Oh, that one just goes wide. Panthers, plenty of opportunities again. Still second quarter. Hermitage on the prowl. The cross just couldn't connect, so it's still 2-0. We go to the third, and guess what? I said you haven't heard the last of Gard. Rhea Gard puts the biscuit in the basket. Warriors up 3. 3-0 Henrico. Hermitage trying to counter. Another good save by Roy. Henrico, this is pretty, oh so pretty. Check out the pass right here. Unselfish. Do we have ourselves a hat trick? Yes, we do. Gard. Not 1, not 2, but 3 times finds the back of the net, and that is a legit hat trick for Rhea Gard. Later, only less than a minute to play. There was a penalty in the box, and Hermitage shoots, and they score. Stella Josie puts Hermitage on the board, and they end up losing the match, but they aren't shut out. It was a closer game than the score would indicate in this one, but to the victor go the spoils. That would be your Henrico Warriors. They're happy to be back out and playing once again. 4-1 your final. Speaking of the Warriors, last season's truncated campaign on the gridiron was one to forget. Henrico failed to get into the win column. But don't tread lightly on the Warriors this fall. Coach Glasgow thinks his team is ready to get back to playoff football. And if they're going to do it this year, they'll do it as a Class 4 team.
Good.
Henrico looks to get back to the Warrior way this year. Henrico endured a winless season last spring, but looks to take it one bite at a time this fall.
How do you eat an elephant? You know, it's a riddle that I always use, and I'll go ahead and ruin it for the 9th graders now, but you got to do it one bite at a time. And that's just the way we're doing it. We just went about our business off season. It was actually beneficial for us to not have a lot of success because we didn't put any work in. Our administration, our coaches, we were all following the what we thought was going to be a COVID year, and we didn't practice. We didn't put an off season together. We started from, not from fresh, but back to the Warrior ways here at Henrico football, and we believe that we put enough work in to have some more success to get back to the playoffs yearly.
For the Warriors, it was one final opportunity, a scrimmage against Godwin before the start of the new season.
We feel like we have a really good offensive and defensive line. BJ Neese, he's done really well for us. He's going to his second year start. He's a junior. We have a new guy, Miles. We're really happy with our D-line, man. And we just got to see them do it, though, because they're all new to the position. Victor Johnson's there for us on D-line now. We're excited about our linebackers, A.J. Scott, Corvin Wallace. They both play running back as well. We have some good young secondary pieces. J.V. and Randall, who started every game for us. Now he's a sophomore. He's a Division I player, we believe.
And if the Warriors can run the football like they did on this night, they could be back to the Warrior winning way really soon. Meanwhile, Henrico has two talented quarterbacks that will lead the way on offense.
Sean Aiken, he's more of a football player who is an athlete, /athlete, a slasher type kid. But Jordan Hawkins, he hasn't done anything wrong. It was not Jordan's fault about how the spring went. The pieces around him need to do better. And he's improved through the offseason. He's really done a good job of being a quarterback and a leader.
Henrico, like Varina, moved to Class 4 this season, and Coach Glasgow is more than happy to renew that rivalry.
See, a lot of people don't even realize my record versus Varina, and he can put this on film. Marcus knows it because I tell him every time I see him. But in my 8 years at Henrico, because we beat them once in the playoffs and in the regular season one year, our record versus Varina is 6-3, us. So it's not, we consider them a rival, but I would think we shouldn't be the underdogs going into that game.
And their first game this Thursday against Atlee.
One back on three, one back on three. 1, 2, 3. There you go, let's go, fly around.
You can see the confidence from Coach Glasgow with his Warriors team. And if they're going to compete in Class 4, they'll have to continue that success against their rivals Varina, who joined them in reclassification. The Blue Devils have a new but very talented quarterback, along with some other stalwarts and new pieces to help them try to improve on a season that just saw them barely miss out on the postseason last spring. Varina kicks off the new season with a new classification, moving from Class 5 to Class 4.
Just now we're going to a different class that some of the teams I never seen play. I did get to see a little bit last year just because the games was filmed and on YouTube and stuff like that. So, we're looking forward to it, honestly. It looked like 4 would just be like 5 with us as far as the competition that's with the teams that's in it.
And Coach Lewis has a nice blend of returning and new talent.
From last year's team, we got Carlo. We have DeAndre Crump. You can see a lot of new faces, honestly. We got Mari Bella. We got Kyrie. We got Wayne and Albert. We got a couple of linemen that's back. We got a lot of new faces as well.
That includes transfer quarterback from Patrick Henry, Miles Derricott.
Great kid, composed, a leader. I'm looking forward to him taking the lead on the road as far as being our starting quarterback.
Derricott, along with others who will see an increased role, will power the Blue Devils on Friday night.
Marquise Vincent, Derricott as well. Tamar will have a bigger role. He came in and played a little bit of running back. He definitely will be starting.
The key for Varina, as it often is with most teams, will be the play of both sides of the line.
I think we stack up well. Our biggest thing is just depth. So our biggest thing is some of these kids that got to take some of the role and take some of the pressure off the ones that starting on both sides of the ball. If we can have that, we're going to be fine. Our biggest thing is just practice like we're going to play on Friday nights. If we can practice hard every day. Fridays, like I told them, it's just cashing in, it's just paycheck time.
1, 2, 3. On the field, let's get lined up.
It's a new era, deep run.
I'm 34. I'm going to be working for the next 30 years. You only have so much time to play football, Billy.
Coach Joe Mullenix takes over as head coach at Deep Run.
I want to be here for 30 years. And this group will be a special one because they're going to be the first brick in that cornerstone of what we're building here foundationally. And it's going to be an important season for them. They had a season that was taken away from them, and in part, at least part of it, due to COVID in the spring. So I want to provide for them, first and foremost, a safe environment where they can have a season and compete and get their full 10 games and hopefully more in the playoffs. I'm also very much in the here and now with this group of kids because they are going to be vital to what we're building moving forward.
The Wildcats graduated 17 starters from a season ago, so this year there's going to be plenty of brand new faces. Fortunately for Coach Mullenix, it's not his first rodeo.
At Brentsville, we built a program. 80% of the production graduated, and I had to build it from the ground up. And it's a similar concept here. So many of those seniors, Bo Kite, the quarterback, and so many other guys, Carter Foy. It's a rare opportunity to redefine at an established school what it means to be a deep-run Wildcat football player.
Meanwhile, plenty of new starters does not equate to lack of talent.
It starts at the quarterback position like it does for most football teams, and we have a competition there right now. We have a junior, Matt David, who's in the lead currently because he has the most experience, and on and off the field, he's done a tremendous job in terms of leadership for us. He's applying to be a captain in our program. Victor Soiree is a returning player, one of those 5 returning starters who had 3 interceptions in the spring, and he's going to do things for us offensively and defensively. Kendall Hummer is another name, a young man who got injured in the spring, but he's one of our best all-around athletes. He's going to be asked to do a lot of different things. Jason Morgan, he'll be hopefully the next D1 prospect that comes out of deep run. He's a 6'8", 240-pound offensive tackle. He's a junior.
These guys look to lead the way come first snap of the regular season.
We're going with Teddy Roosevelt's The Arena, and the speech that he gave about, whether you win or lose, the important thing is being in the fight, being in the arena, being in that place where you're competing, because you don't want to be a cold and timid soul that doesn't know the difference between victory and defeat.
Well, we head to Glen Allen on the other side. The Jaguars look to make a playoff push this fall under the leadership of Perry Jones. Plus, some big basketball news out of Varina that will make Ram Nation pretty happy, and how a former Jaguar softball star turned success on the field into generosity for her community. I'll explain straight ahead.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
Welcome back to SportsWire.
I'm blessed to announce that I'm committed to VCU.
You heard it. Varina's Alphonzo Billups, a consensus top 100 pick, will play basketball for Ram Nation and VCU.
Definitely being long and athletic definitely fits their play style. Getting open court, fast breaks, steals, all of that. I'm definitely with the coaching staff that we got. Definitely prepared me for this right here in the next level. Just practice playing, coaching, all of it.
Obviously a proud mom and dad, Billups averaged 16 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists in the 2019 season. Billups will no doubt be a welcome addition to VCU as he and the Blue Devils prepare for a big season for Varina this winter. Speaking of a big season, Glen Allen football nearly had one last spring. It was a good one going 4-2, including a very competitive matchup with one of the area's best teams. Coach Jones and the Jags look to continue to close the gap this fall.
CGIS, which is close gap, increase separation. As a program, we're just trying to close a gap between the top teams, and then once we kind of close that gap, our next step is to increase that separation and to try to keep the program on top.
Last season, Perry Jones' Jaguars did just that, losing only 2 games, both playoff teams, Hermitage and Highland Springs.
I think that was a good wake-up call to let us know that we can compete. We can be one of those teams that, competes each and every week. So I continue to try to put the battery in their back to let them know you guys are a good football team. So just go out there, execute, and do what you're told, and more times than not, you're gonna be successful.
Glen Allen will replace plenty of graduating seniors from last season, but still have quite a bit of talent.
We got a few guys coming back, especially on the defensive side. Pat Carey's coming back as our defensive back. Zachary Chambers, who holds 12 offers, is our middle linebacker. Caleb Hughes is our other middle linebacker. And on the offensive side, we have, a couple of returning receivers. Jordan Brown will be back in the quarterback mix. We had to fill a couple spots on the offensive line and at the running back position, but we like what we have there. Luckily for us, we had a lot of sophomores and juniors that played last year, so we have a lot of guys who have experience. Even if they didn't start last year, they have a ton of experience coming back.
It might be enough for CGIS to take hold come kickoff time.
We just, want to play fast and physical, man. Outside of that, the guys are going to be coached up well. They're going to be put in the right spot. And I tell them as long as they go fast and physical and just give it their all, they're going to have some success. So they're excited to get back out there on Friday nights, playing in front of a crowd. We're glad to get the student section back out. So the guys are amped. So we're definitely going to bring a lot of high energy.
Glen Allen starts their season August 27th against Matoaka.
Family on 6. 1, 2, 3. Giants. 4, 5, 6.
Well, if you're a softball fan in the area, you probably know the name Emerson Aiken. She dominated in the circle for Glen Allen, earning her all kinds of accolades. Now off to the University of Michigan to pitch for the Wolverines, she left a hefty parting gift to a league that helped start her softball journey. Emerson Aiken has been a superstar pitcher for Glen Allen softball for years. Just last season, going into state playoffs, she had a perfect 13-0 record, allowing no earned runs until the regional final. 56 innings, she allowed 12 hits, only 3 earned runs. And get this, she tallied 135 strikeouts to only 5 walks, and in the classroom, boasted a 4.46 GPA. Those honors were good enough for her to win back-to-back Gatorade Virginia Player of the Year honors. And her hard work in and out of the classroom earned her a scholarship to the University of Michigan to play softball at the next level. Now she's paying back the organization where she got her first start.
If you win Gatorade Player of the Year, they have this program called Pay It Forward. And upon winning Gatorade Player of the Year for your state, you have the opportunity to donate $1,000 to any local sports-related organization in your area. And then they have a $10,000 spotlight grant that you can apply to and make a video submission for in order to win an extra $10,000 towards wherever organization you choose.
Out of all the entries, her video won. Emerson chose Tuckahoe Little League.
And was just blown away. It was so amazing. And it's really an honor for Tuckahoe Little League. I mean, we're one of, I think, 12 in the nation, 12 programs in the nation that received one of these national grants.
I'm so happy that I get to share this money with the Little League that grew and fostered my love for the sport, and give this money back so that more kids can fall in love with softball just like I did.
We were doing some Facebook posts to honor Emerson, and Emerson's mom sent me some photos, and it was just amazing, seeing those photos from T-ball and coach pitch and all the way through into the majors, and how fast these kids grow up and move through the program. But that's really what we're all about, is to teach the kids to love the game and really learn the lessons that you get from playing team sports, from sportsmanship and friendships and performing under pressure, and that's really what we're about.
For Aiken, it's personal, for she doesn't believe she'd be where she is today if it weren't for Tuckahoe Little League.
I started here when I was about 8 years old. I threw my first ball here, I hit my first ball here, I did everything, had all my firsts here, and then a few short years later, I went up the hill over here and played for my first travel team with the Titans, and it was just an amazing experience being here all the time. And, without this place, I probably would have never discovered my love for softball and wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today to go to an amazing university and play at one of the highest levels of my sport. And I'm so thankful for Tuckahoe in that aspect.
Meanwhile, for all you youngsters out there, Emerson Aiken has this advice for you if you want to make it to the next level.
My first advice would be take in every moment because it flies by, and just, don't take it for granted and give it your all every single moment that you're on the field. And, if you hang your head one time, just bounce back up and keep pushing forward, support your teammates, be a good teammate, just keep going.
Bryden DeWitt and Tuckahoe Little League plans to use the $11,000 to fully support their softball program and will honor Aiken this coming spring. She may even throw out the first pitch. Good luck up in Michigan. And good luck to all the teams just getting started. Knock on wood, we'll have a full 10-game football season over 6. That sounds great to me. Plus fans in the stands and the band's coming back. All the more reason that I can't wait to see ya next time on SportsWire.